This is my favorite accessory for the Gozney Arc XL, and I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why. Coming in at third is how drastically it cuts down on heat up time. Got a graph here showing the normal Arc XL versus using the heat trapper. It takes about 44 minutes to get to 850, which is my benchmark of where I usually launch my pizzas. And the heat trapper takes 21 minutes. That cuts the time in half. The other numbers here you can see for 950, which is what, they say these things can get up to fairly quickly, takes the Arc XL 60 minutes. With the heat trapper, it takes 27 minutes. And then to get up to 1,000 degrees, we're looking at 73 minutes. And then with the heat trapper, 30 minutes. So it cuts that time down a ton. That means when you're doing back-to-back pizzas, if you throw this on in between cooks, that stone's gonna recover way quicker. I've also done videos on the NU2U doors, and so I'll put a graph on here real quick to show you, and you can pause and look at the numbers. This heats up even quicker than the doors. It's still very close, but the doors just help with heating up. The heat trapper can actually do more. Which leads me into the second reason I love this door, and that is, it does a great job of trapping the heat on the floor. Especially for New York style or bigger pizzas, it helps heat up these front 4 inches of the stone. Because this is contoured to the shape of the stone, we're getting the whole cooking area. I did a test while I was heating this up and temped the middle stone and then temped up here towards the front without the door. Then I did that test again with the door, temp the middle, and then temped out front. And out front, I want to say was about 100 degrees hotter with the door. And I'll put the numbers on the screen there, and you can see that difference. So what I did is I did a test with 2 16-inch pizzas. I launched them both at 750 degrees, cooked them with the flame off for 2 minutes, and then turned the flame on all the way low for another 2 minutes. I did not rotate it because I wanted to see the heat distribution with the door or the heat trapper versus having nothing. The cheese did burn in certain places because I used pre-shredded cheese because with these tests I'm kind of in a hurry. And the anti-caking agent tends to burn. I've got a whole separate video about that. I did a test with shredding the cheese versus pre-shredded. And the pre-shredded tends to burn a lot easier. But back to the test. So we have the 2 pizzas. One of them has the door, the other doesn't. I'll show you the first one here. This is with the door, with the heat trapper. And you can see it burned on the left. That's right by the flame. It burned really good. And towards the front, you can see it's not cooked as well. And you'll be able to see a better perspective when we look at this next picture, which is without the door. And you can see that front part of the pizza, the cheese just didn't even melt very well. So let's put them side by side. You can see on the left is with the door, on the right is without. And that's where you really start to see the big difference in how much heat is being trapped with this heat trapper. Granted, I think on the one with the door, I had the pizza a little closer to the flame, so more of it burned, but that still won't affect that front area. And you can see there is a huge difference there. So for me, I really like that because when I'm cooking a New York style pizza, it's gonna trap that heat in, or even a bigger pizza, let's say. It's gonna trap that heat in and cook it more evenly. So I wanna show a comparison on the undercarriage of the pizzas. The pizza, I'll show you first without the door. You can see toward where the front is, it's not as browned. And then if we look at the one with the door, you can see it's browned even more than the first. So it really does do a great job of keeping that stone hot and gives us more of that cooking area. Number one, and quite possibly my favorite part about this door, is it makes it so I was able to cook 12-inch pizzas back to back without stopping in a row. I did a test where I did 5 pizzas. The only downtime was taking the pizza out and the other pizza was already made, and I launched it, put it in, and cooked them until they were done, which was about 2 minutes. I did 2 minutes on each pizza, and I put the trapper door on between each one. I would launch one in the back, and then I would launch one in the front, and I alternated. And I'll show you, here's the first pizza we cooked. It's a great pizza. If you look underneath, it's got a great undercarriage, great coloring. And then let's look at the third one. Same deal, great pizza, underneath looks great. And now the fifth one, this is 5 pizzas in a row. Didn't give any downtime in between, just launching them like crazy. Got hectic. The 5th pizza, look how great the undercarriage looks on that. I mean, I was blown away how well this works. For those of you who like to cook a lot of pizzas for a big group and only have one pizza oven, this is gonna make it so this oven is way more versatile. Because I'll tell you, I've done a lot of pizza events, and having to wait for the stones to heat up is a big drawback. Because the undercarriage doesn't get cooked as well, the pizza's a lot more floppy. This helps keep that heat in, and you can just keep going. The big thing that really makes this way more easy to use is this door holder. This is something I've actually talked to NU2U about a lot, because with all my testing, I take the door and I set it down on the ground. I don't want to set it on my table and burn it. So having this door holder for me is huge. The holder also will work on a NU2U baffle door if you already have one of those. But the thing I like about NU2U is the construction on these things. This is stainless steel, food grade. The handles are food grade. They've got this notch here, so it's just rugged. Like I've got a ton of NU2U products. I'm a big fan of theirs. I know when I have these, and I know when you buy these, you won't regret it because they are so well built. And it really does work really well. And the design here, the air vents and the slope here is something they nailed down and adjusted and tested to see what trapped the most heat. And this really does do a great job at trapping the heat. So check out the link in the description below. I'll put a link to both of these items. This is honestly just an honest review. I don't get any commission for you guys buying these things, but I really do feel like this is a great accessory for you to have for your Gozney Arc XL.